Okay, it is 6 p.m. and we will call this public meeting to order. The first item on the agenda is declaration of pecuniary interest or general nature thereof. If anybody has an interest to declare, please do so. And I see Councillor Jameson is joining us virtually this evening, so I'll be craning my neck to look up at the screen from time to time. So there are no declarations, so we'll move forward with the purpose of the meeting. And the preamble goes as follows. Personal information collected at this public hearing is collected under the authority of the Planning Act and will be used to assist in making a decision on this matter. All names, addresses, opinions, and comments are collected to form part of the minutes, which are available to the public. Questions regarding this collection should be forwarded to the Director of Planning. For the purpose of public meetings, it is to present planning applications in a public forum as required by the Planning Act. Following presentation by the applicant or staff, council members will have an opportunity to ask questions for clarification or further information. The meeting will then be open to the public for comments and questions. When you speak, please provide your name and address for recording in the minutes. All comments should be directed to myself, the chair of the meeting. The applicant will be provided the opportunity to address public questions once all members of the public have made their submissions. For the application being presented tonight, a recommendation is being presented to council. Following the council decision, notice will be circulated in accordance with the Planning Act. If a person or public body would have an ability to appeal the decision of council to the Ontario Land Tribunal, but the person or public body does not make oral submissions at the public meeting or make written submissions to the township before the bylaw is passed, the person or public body is not entitled to appeal the decision. So the item on tonight's agenda is T00-2023-002 Tower Application 280 Highway 15. So I will ask our planner to speak to this, and then we will go to the consultants if need be. Go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and through you. The subject of this public meeting is a proposed telecommunications tower located at the property known as 280 Highway 15. The tower is proposed to be 91.5 meters tall, located approximately 455 meters from Highway 15. It includes a walk-in equipment cabinet and will be enclosed by 2.4 meter high chain link fence. The public notification for this meeting has been completed in accordance with the township's protocol for telecommunication towers, including notice being mailed to all owners of property within approximately 275 meters of the proposed tower location. To date, staff have not received any questions or comments from the public with respect to the application. And as you've noted, we have the consultants, representatives from Rogers Communications in attendance virtually to speak to the application. Thank you.
Okay. Council, do we want to ask anything of the consultants that are with us this evening, or is the application clear enough for us? I see no hands up. Okay, Councilor, maybe go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and through you. One of my questions that I've asked on many of these occasions is how many other towers are within close proximity. And when I seen the map, I did notice that there's one that we have approved in the past that has not gone up yet, but I don't know how that plays into Rogers' portfolio. The one at the Watson yard just south of Olivet Church. I think it was about 4 or 5 years ago that one came to us and it hasn't been put up. But by what I recall geographically, it seems like there's maybe another one going up in close proximity to this that has come forward to us. And it could be on the Lyndhurst Road area by Sweets Corners or something like that, if I remember correctly. And that one's not built yet either. So I guess my biggest question about this whole process is that we are passing these, but some of them aren't being built. And how does that influence us going ahead? And are we going to get tower fatigue here with the different makers that are out there, pushing providing the services that which we all want to be on the net? So I don't know how we actually manage some of this, because if we're passing these, is there a deadline for them actually putting them up before we move on with another applicant? Thank you.
So I'll direct it to Marnie Venditti, our Director of Planning. Go ahead.
Thank you. Through you, the one on the Watson property is not being constructed. This is to replace that one. There was something with that site that isn't going forward. So this is an alternate location to replace that particular tower. With respect to your other questions around the other location at Sweets Corners and Tower Fatigue, I'm not able to speak to that. What's being asked of council is concurrence, that you have met the protocol and that you concur that the process has been met. Once that is granted, it's out of our hands in terms of the timeline for approvals and construction. But I would gather that the applicant's consultants that are on the line would probably be able to speak to timelines better than myself.
So we will go to the consultants at this point. So whoever would like to speak to this question, if you could raise your hand and we'll unmute you.
Yep. Can you hear me okay?
Okay, we have Christian Lee.
Perfect. Thank you. Yes, and thank you, Marty, for clarifying. Yes, this is a replacement site for the previously approved tower at the Watson property. So this is one and the same. It's just a new location. The construction team deemed the other property unsuitable for construction, so we had to find a new location. The length of time that proponents have to construct the tower following the granting of concurrence from the municipality is 3 years. So the tower would have to be built within that period. Otherwise, they would have to apply for a concurrence extension. In this case, this tower is part of the Adjourn Cell Gap project, so it would definitely be built within the 3 years.
So to the other question in regards to the tower that's been proposed on Lyndhurst Road, can you speak to that, or is that not one of your towers?
That's not one of mine. No, so I can't speak to that one. Sorry.
Okay. So unfortunately, that one will have to remain a question mark. If I'm not mistaken, that was an ExploreNet tower.
Yeah.
So, but knowing that ExploreNet was awarded some of the reverse auction, if I'm not mistaken, that, you know, I'm assuming that they will be putting up towers that they won't be duplicating effort if they don't have to pay to put up a whole tower. They might just rent space off of another one.
Yeah, and if that's the case, sorry to interject, but just as added context, if it is indeed an ExploreNet tower, it would be quite a bit lower and therefore wouldn't be suitable for our purposes anyway. So both would be required.
Fair enough. Thank you for that additional information. Councillor Kelman, go ahead.
There is an ExploreNet tower on Sweets Corners Road at Briarley Farm, the Blueberry Farm. And it's fairly new. So I don't know if it's not very tall, but it is quite new. So I don't know if that's the one that was approved, that's been built. And I know because I am an ExploreNet customer, they were talking about boosting signals and stuff. So I don't know if that meant additional tower work or what, but there is one there.
Okay. Probably is the one that we've already discussed. Yeah. Okay. Any further comments or questions in regards to this application? I see no hands up, so I will move on to adjournment. Moved by Deputy Mayor Fody, seconded by Councillor Maybe, that the public meeting adjourn. All those in favor? All those opposed, sorry, and it's carried. Thank you very much.